Tasting My Ex-Wife. 1. June 20th, 2024. The man was already asleep, his sharp eyes closed. Mia endured the unspeakable sourness on her body and got out of bed. Her back was bent into a beautiful arc, covered by her long hair, faintly visible, young and beautiful. Just when she was about to pick up the scattered clothes on the ground, a cold voice came from behind her. "How much for you?" The tone was emotionless, and the strong chemistry after being drunk last night had dissipated. Mia squeezed her clothes in her hand for a while. It's ridiculous to say that her husband, who she has been married to for 3 years, doesn't even know who she is. 3 years ago, she saved Mr. Carl's life. Just when her father's company encountered difficulties in the first round of financing, Mr. Carl took advantage of the situation and proposed to let her marry his grandson Vincent and funded $200 million into the Brown family dyeing business. Vincent didn't show up the whole time, and she didn't know until after the wedding that the man had gone abroad. In the past 3 years, she, as the nameless Mrs. Barrett, has already become a laughingstock in the eyes of others. Unexpectedly, the first time the two met was in bed. "I don't want money." She put the clothes on, and because of the hangover, a mild migraine made her head ache like it was about to explode. "Noble of you. So, you did it for love." Vincent sneered. His eyes were extremely penetrating, and he looked her up and down. Pretty face, a perfect body, innocent eyes, a good-looking girl, but that's all. Countless girls try to climb onto his bed. The difference is that this time she succeeded. The man withdrew his gaze, passing out a check with a blank amount. Cash it whenever. Although he was drunk last night, he would not completely lose control over a woman. The problem lies in the glass of wine she handed over. Mia was already dressed last night at the reception party held by the Barrett family. All the famous ladies and daughters in the circle gathered together. They all wanted to meet this noble businessman who just returned to the U.S. and was about to take over the entire Barrett family in one clean swoop. She arrived late, and Senior Mr. Carl specially asked her to come when he was abroad. She wanted to show her face and leave, but her father stopped her and brought her 2 glasses of wine. Said that while Vincent was returning home, the two of them should have a good talk. She is well aware of how much Vincent resists this marriage. How can she convince him that what happened last night was not her intention? There was a hint of self-mockery in Mia's eyes, and she was silent for 2 seconds. "Actually, The phone next to the bed vibrated. Vincent glanced unhurriedly. It was his lawyer. Pressing the speakerphone, a male voice came from over there. "Mr. Barrett, I have come to Miss Brown's apartment. She is not at home. Do I need to send this divorce agreement to her family?" Standing up and coming to the large windows, Vincent frowned and looked at the distant roaring sea. He didn't have any impression of his wife, who he had been married to for 3 years. He heard the old man say that she has a good personality and is a top student who graduated from State University, but so what? The Brown family has already passed through the crisis, so they have repaid her kindness for saving the old man. The man's tone was ruthless and cold. Contact her first and ask her to sign the divorce agreement. If she refuses, then contact Brown. Mia found her mobile phone to check if she missed any work calls. She was stunned when she heard the words divorce agreement. "Sweetie, you left early last night? Catherine asked me to ask you if Vincent drank that glass of wine." Mia lowered her head. "I thought it was you who prepared the wine." "No. Catherine gave it to me. If you are not busy with work today, go to the hospital to see your sister. She said she misses you." Mia took a deep breath in her heart, probably knowing that the woman was plotting this on purpose. Seeing that she didn't respond, Edward said, "Are you all right? Do you have those brutal migraines again?" Thinking that she was suffering from a hangover, he hurriedly asked her if she needed anything, his tone full of concern. Mia is not short-tempered, but her mother passed away early. Her father ran the company by himself and has been a good father all these years. It has been a lot of hard work. Moreover, he remarried in her freshman year, and there was nothing she can complain about. She didn't want to talk about it and suppress the pain in her heart. No, I'll go to Siwana later and tell Catherine thank her for being so thoughtful about other people's business. The man, who stood in front of the wall-like window, continued a conversation on his cell which was vaguely heard. Looking up, the light outside the window fell on the shoulders of the man, shirtless and looking pretty sexy and mature. With his back to the light, no expression can be seen on his handsome face. His side face is sculptural, but it making him look more indifferent. Mia put away her phone, turned around, opened the door, and walked out. Anyway, they're planning to get a divorce. Isn't it embarrassing to know that he has slept with a wife he hasn't seen for 3 years? It's better just like this. Wave goodbye after a one-night stand. Vincent hung up the phone. It was late, and there was an outsider there. He turned around and looked at the silent room in front of him and couldn't help frowning. The messy bed sheet was torn in half, and the crumpled suit shirt was thrown at the end of the bed. The smell of red wine is mixed with the fragrance of that woman. He raised his hand and pinched the center of his brows. If it wasn't for the blood stain on the bed sheet, he would think that the woman he saw when he woke up in the morning was a hallucination. There was a knock on the door, and his secretary Nathan's voice came from outside. "Mr. Barrett." "Enter." The door was pushed open. Nathan held a brand new suit, saw the scene in the room, was puzzled, but didn't ask any further questions, put down his clothes, and retreated respectfully to the living room. Vincent went to the bathroom to take a shower, dressed neatly in a handsome suit, and walked out. Nathan consciously followed a step behind, and the two went out the door. Vincent paused. "That woman from last night, who is she?"